What is going on, you guys? My name is Curtis with the Seoul Dojo Gaming channel, and this is our first impressions review of F125. Look, when it comes to this game, I feel like Codemasters, they prioritize one game mode and then they give it major changes, major updates, and it's good. It's really good, but then they also neglect other modes and things like that, even though they did upgrade them last year, like driver career. So I feel like with this game overall, already it seems like if you prioritize my team, or you prioritize driver career, or you prioritize F1 world, your experience is going to be very different. It depends on what you prioritize. Let me start off with the presentation of F125. So Codemasters has implemented LiDAR technology. This new technology is like a major step forward for the game when it comes to its graphic fidelity. So LiDAR is basically light detection range scanning. So they've, scanned 5 different tracks. Now those tracks have like for like pinpoint accuracy when it comes to the bumps and the turns that are on these tracks. So you're looking at like Miami, Melbourne, like Bahrain, like those tracks are more, very close to their real life counterpart. Also, LiDAR just helps so much with the lighting in the game and helps it graphically. Like I said, when you look at the cutscenes, the last couple of years, the cutscenes have looked worse because they're just so outdated. But this year, they definitely, I don't know if it's the graphics or maybe the lighting that it changed, but they just look so much better. Also, they did add in more animations for, race wins and, other, animations for cutscenes and things like that. So it just looks so much better. And last year, I did complain a lot about the cutscenes and like some of the atmosphere outside of the tracks just look terrible, but LiDAR and just some of the improvements that Codemasters have brought to the game, it just looks so much better. Let me talk a little bit about gameplay now. With F124, last year's game, Codemasters changed a lot. They changed a lot of the braking, they changed a lot of the turning. There was a lot of things that they changed when it came to just the car itself. This year, they didn't really do much when it came to gameplay and driving. However, there is the option to race tracks in reverse now, so I guess that is a bit of a gameplay change. It is very interesting, kind of racing through Silverstone backwards. Like it does give you a bit of a twist on the game, and it's very cool. It's a very small change, but I mean, it's a very small change for gameplay. It really is. What I've always liked about F1 is as you play it, as you get better, as you feel more confident in your driving, you can change the settings to your skill level now, so you can start kind of dialing back on the accessibility settings and things like that. I love this game for that. I feel like I've gotten pretty decent at it. I can't take down all the braking yet. I'm still at medium braking, but I think it's one of the best things that I like about the gameplay. You can just get better and you can start challenging yourself more. All right, let's start talking about some of the big modes that are in F125. As I said before, it seems like Codemasters are latching on to one mode and giving it really more significant upgrades than others. Of course, last year, F124, they gave loads of upgrades to driver career. This year, it's my team. As I said before, it's what you prioritize when it comes to F125. If you love my team, you're going to absolutely love this game because some of the updates that they gave my team is really good. Now, my team this year is broken into 3 key areas. You have engineering, personnel, and corporate. All of them have different goals that you're trying to achieve with your team. Of course, some of the goals that you achieve or some of the things that you do within one area will affect elements of the other. So, for example, if you're prioritizing upgrades to one driver over the other, it may kind of affect the contract negotiations in the future with that driver. So that all takes place in the personnel tab. So it all kind of latches together, and I feel like Codemasters really thought this through, and I really like that feature. Some of those major updates that were in the driver career last year have actually made their way to my team. So you can actually research and develop upgrades for your team. Another new feature is in personnel, you can actually recruit new drivers or even reassign new drivers, which is kind of cool. And then in corporate, all that deals with the financial side. Now, the financial side is really interesting because there's multiple layers to it. So you can actually get endorsements or sponsorship income, and you could do livery customization, which both of these features work together. So you could personalize your cars with movable sponsored decals and then increase your revenue by sporting those decals and those logos. I think it's awesome. I really want something like this, like a feature like this in games like EAFC. I would love features like this. This was really cool for me. I was like, this is a great way to like increase your revenue, and then they have different tiers. You can get even better sponsorships and then just make even more money. So it's great. This is probably the most customizing I've ever done in an F1 game. With that said, you can customize your HQ center, logos, livery, and there's just so much more, you know, you can customize, but players still can't customize their driver or owner in F125. I don't know why that is. Like, I'm getting tired of just picking an avatar. Like, I want to actually customize my driver. One mode I forgot to mention, and it's actually a pretty big mode, is Breaking Point is back with Breaking Point 3. It's the third chapter in the Breaking Point saga, I guess you would call it now. It's basically, if you don't know what this is the F1 series' like story mode. It's this over dramatized story mode. It does have, this year it has this mixture of gameplay elements from driver career and my team. You know, players can choose what driver they can use during the, you know, the Grand Prix weekends, and then, you know, all that, you make all these choices that ultimately affect your team in your team's overall performance. So it's another compelling story for about a new up and coming team called Connor Sport. I think it's good. I love the motion capture. I love the voice acting. It seems like Codemasters put so much resources into this mode. It's worth your time. It really is worth your time, and it's really good. It also gets you, if you haven't played this game before, it also gets you into the flow of the game, and it also introduces you to the sport if you're not very well versed in the sport either. All right, now to the few things I really don't like about this game. I don't like the lack of improvements to this year's driver career mode. Like I said, they're focusing on one area and then sprinkling small improvements into others. So the big improvements went all to my team. You could definitely see that. This year, career mode just barely got anything. I know they updated career mode massively last year, but I would have loved to see just some improvements on top of what they already done with that mode, because the driver recognition system was a great touch. I would have loved to see them expand on a lot of these improvements that they did in F124 last year, but they just didn't. This year, you get to recruit driver icons. You can, you know, players can add an 11th team. It can either be like my team, Connor Sport, or the team from the official F1 movie. I just wish career mode would have got more. A new feature from about 3 years ago is F1 World. It's going 3 years strong. I can't believe it's already been 3 years, because when did it come out? I think F123. The mode offers some minor updates, of course, like invitationals, which is a new multiplayer event. You have a new driver of the day system. There's also a lot of different features and modes within F1 World that you can get involved in. Also, F125 has content promoting the new F1 movie featuring Brad Pitt. This mode will introduce 6 post-launch in-game scenarios and challenges inspired by the movie. Look, I don't know what it is. I understand that EA Sports would want to kind of promote this big budget movie. I get it. And then want to promote the sport. I get it. It works in this game, and it works for the whole media aspect of what F125 is, right? I get it. But there's something in the back of my mind that I do not like advertisement in video games. I just don't like it. I don't like advertisement in video games. And when I saw this in the game, and I knew when I was reading the press releases it was gonna be in the game, I immediately didn't like it. It leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Now, should you buy, wait for a sale, or skip F125? I think it depends on what you prioritize. If you like career modes, yeah, this game is really good when it comes to that. If you just prioritize solely, if you're a little bit like me, solely driver career mode, which I do like to play, you might want to wait for it on a sale, because there's not much that they've changed with driver career mode. But if you love my team, man, you are in for a treat, because it really is good. It really is good. Some of those elements go to Breaking Point as also, so you can get some hours in on Breaking Point 3, especially if you followed up with from the first 2 Breaking Points, and you just want to see what happens to Connor Sport. So I'd say overall, wait for a sale. But again, big caveat, what do you prioritize when you play F1? That is the biggest thing. My name is Curtis with the Seoul Dojo Gaming Channel. You can follow me on X at Kelly from the Dojo, and make sure you guys get in the comments. Let me know what you think about F125. I think this is out before it comes out, but whenever you guys play it, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Seoul Dojo Gaming Channel, and I'll check you guys later. All right, peace.